Wow. What is up, Laker family? All right, the Lakers just dropped the ball here, losing to the Philadelphia 76ers 118 to 104 in what was, dare I say, the most disappointing loss of the year. The one before this one that was extremely disappointing was obviously the Dallas Maverick one, but this one was compounded because it came with two losses. All right, we lost Anthony Davis, which is the first loss. He only played 10 minutes. He exited with an abdominal strain. We'll hear more about him. That could be serious trouble because we really needed him in this moment during this time and moving forward. The second loss, obviously, was this game that we mailed in. We came in here, guys, and we were just trash from the beginning. The energy wasn't there. You could tell. Shout out to Nakomi. She was with me on playback. I told her the energy just seemed so off from the start of games. And yes, we can chalk it up to back to backs, but that wasn't the case. The thing was about this team here. They made serious mistakes. I'm talking about the coaching staff, the players, etc. All right. We're going to get into Bronny and all of that. It was horrible all the way around. But the first mistake by J.J. Redick was absolutely to start Dorian Finney-Smith over Rui Hachimura. All right. Right away, we saw the defensive lapses early on. And then we made that substitution, finally brought in DFS. But then on top of that, there was a shocking substitution that I think shocked everybody. Now, I was excited to see him play, but at the same time, I was like, wait a minute. He's in and Shake Milton is not. And that was Bronny James. Okay. Now, we all love and root for Bronny. However, one of the main criticism was, will JJ actually give him special treatment due to the fact that he's LeBron's son and LeBron helped get him that job? His podcast mate helped get him that job. And now the narratives are going to start arising because tonight, Bronny James played 15 minutes in which he went 0 for 5. He was a -8, right? He was a -8, 0 for 5, and he had 3 turnovers, getting blocked twice at the rim. And he showed that, yes, he is not ready yet, ladies and gentlemen. As good as he's looked in the G League, people have been sending him stats. He's looked tremendous. I loved what he's done in the G League, but that doesn't always translate to the next level. And he was thrown into the fire right away. I don't know what JJ was thinking by putting him on Maxi. Maxi cooked. He cooked everybody, but especially Bronny when he was on there. 43 points for Maxi. He cooked Austin. He cooked Max Christie. He cooked everybody, but Bronny should not have been in this game, and let alone once we had that 8-point lead, I guess JJ felt that it was going to be easy night or whatever. Brings in Bronny, and immediately, not only do we lose the 8-point lead, but we start trailing, and they never looked back after that. Credit to the Sixers. They didn't lay down for anybody, even though we were hot coming in riding high off a 4-game winning streak. It was horrible, man. Bronny played bad, and his dad played worse. For those of you that didn't watch the game, you might think, well, LeBron had a triple-double. He had 31 points, 9 assists, and 8 rebounds. He had 8 turnovers with that. He had a quadruple-double almost, okay? And that is not acceptable when you're on the road. AD is hurt. We need Bron to step up. I know he's 40. That doesn't excuse 8 turnovers. And those turnovers, really, we lost all momentum. It was one after the other. Bad entry passes, bad outlet passes, and he didn't have the energy tonight. Somebody mentioned during my stream that they should give him a week off. Maybe him and AD should come back at the same time, whenever AD decides to come back after his abdominal strain. But prayers up for AD. Hopefully he's good, and hopefully we'll get him relatively quickly here because very disappointing loss. And like I said, this isn't one loss, it's 2 losses. We got an injured player who may or may not play versus Washington, and we lost the game we should have won, making this probably one of the worst, if not the worst, losses of the year. So Solo says, how many disappointing losses of the year is this team going to have? Every time it seems like we're hitting our stride, Solo, and we're supposed to get a win, it rears its ugly head. But also, I think this game showcases how bad we need a big man and how bad we need another trade or 2. This showcases it. Without AD, they were waltzing in that paint. They were walking in there doing whatever they wanted. I'm not even going to rant, rave, and shout because you know what? Nothing surprises me anymore. We've been like this all year. I've been mentioning it. We get on a nice 3-game win streak after we went on a 3-game losing streak or a 2-game losing streak, and now we lost the game we should have won again. Until we make the right trade and our superstars start stepping up, AD, you got to bubble wrap him. All right. He gets hurt every year at some point. And a part of that is in the front office. They didn't make enough moves to protect their guy, to not wear him out. He's playing already with plantar fasciitis. Now he's going to have another injury bugging him. This after coming off of back-to-back stellar games, killer games, a 40-20 game, the last game. And now look what happened, right? In this case, we might as well have sat him out if we were going to come out like this, to be honest. Big mistake, though. I thought J.J. Redick did a horrible job coaching. We went to the zone defense again, got cooked. We played Bronny, who shouldn't have played. I know he's doing tremendous in the G League, but it doesn't always translate. Not only did he play one half, an atrocious half, but then he played two halves of atrocity, 15 minutes. And then Cam Reddish is having trouble seeing the court. Cam Reddish played, and he actually looked decent. Cam Reddish came in and gave us some decent minutes tonight. Maybe that'll unlock more minutes for him. But, he played all in garbage time while Bronny was playing when we needed, those clutch moments, those clutch minutes. The good news and the silver lining is that Dalton got his game going. He was 8 for 13 from the field for 24, but it didn't matter. The only thing that matters for his confidence. He's been playing a lot better lately. Mamba mentality. Appreciate you, brother. He said, win or lose, we are reiterating the same thing. Rui needs to come off the bench. DFS needs to start. We need a backup center. Rob, come on. Let's go. Abso-freaking-lutely. Couldn't have said it any better myself. Win or lose, we still need that big man, and it showed tonight. Tonight, we made Yabusele look like the second coming. All right, listen, they had 12 offensive rebounds, right? 12 offensive rebounds. They had 43 rebounds to our 39. Another team that out-rebounds us, hence the loss. We can't have that. And without AD, I've been saying it all year, we can't afford to have an AD injury or him to get in foul trouble because Jackson Hayes was trash. So trash, in fact, that Koloko actually played tonight. And he wasn't much better either, right? Maybe because he's out of sorts because he hasn't played much, but he was not much better either. And again, very, very disappointed in the outing tonight, but it's been the case all year long. I'm not even – you see I'm calm as ever because I'm almost expecting a letdown after a good run. So just, again, Mamba, appreciate you, man. But, yeah, very disappointed. I agree. Let's go make that move. Otherwise, what's the point of anything? Appreciate you, Kimiko. Thank you. If they were going to play like shit, AD and Bring should have stayed at a hotel. And Bron, I think she meant Bron. Yes. AD and Bron should have stayed. Exactly. I agree. LeBron has disappointed me in a sense that he's been turning the ball over whenever he has a bad game. He forces the issue. Also tonight, I think tomorrow I'm going to have to do an episode of Good Take, Bad Take over on Playback because tonight seemed like it was one of those payback moments for J.J. Redick. Like, how the heck you have Cam Reddish rotting away on the bench? You got the guy we just traded for, Shake Milton, who's very decent. He hasn't even got an opportunity to shine. How the heck are, they don't get an opportunity before Bronny? Matter of fact, Dalton should have been the first sub, and he wasn't even the first sub. First guy in the game was Bronny James, right? And alongside DFS. And it's like, I think JJ thought we're going to get away with plugging in Bronny this game since it's the Sixers and they only have Maxey. Well, Maxey cooked. Maxey got his rhythm on Bronny. And then it was hard for him. Once a star player gets their rhythm, it's hard to stop him. And again, I don't like it because that's the one criticism I've had and why I've said I have no problem with drafting Bronny as long as he develops in the G League. And when it's time to call him up, he'll get his chance. Well, JJ didn't make any adjustments this game. As much praise as I've given JJ, he allowed Bronny to get cooked. Bronny went 0 for 5 and 3 turnovers. He had a crappy game. So for those fans that were thinking that he was ready because he's killing in the G League, there's levels to this. I love what Bronny's done in the G League, and I'm rooting for the kid. But this was not his game to be played. This was Shake Milton, a veteran, should have been played. Any coach with experience would have put out a veteran out there. Or even Cam Reddish. Either of those two guys should have been in the backcourt, not Bronny. And that is part of the reason we for sure got cooked, but also because AD got injured. There was many reasons why we got cooked, but it's a disappointing outing by everybody involved. LeBron, lethargic, lazy, slow, should have took the night off. And 8 turnovers, which is always pathetic to me. Austin Reeves tonight didn't really have the juice either. Like, I wanted him to carry and to have a big night. 13 points not going to cut it. Didn't even hit my parlay. He did have 8 assists, but we needed more than 13 points. He needed to be aggressive. It seemed like the whole team was tired, man. And they mailed it in. That's what it felt like. Rui had 13 on 6 for 9, which looks good on paper, but again, only 2 rebounds and not a lick of defense, which is why a lot of people want him traded. A lot of my shout out to my Japanese fans that watch the channel. They get mad when I talk about Rui, but the fact of the matter is that Rui needs to play better defense. You're 6'8" for no reason. 2 rebounds is not going to cut it, right? In 20 minutes, how many minutes did he play tonight? 24 minutes, and he only had 2 rebounds. A lot of the times I saw him not boxing out and getting cooked. Let's see. Tara says, where is that Jameson dude at? I don't even know. He's on the bench for sure. He's got to be. I didn't see the camera point at him, but he didn't play at all, right? Which is why did we bring it? Why did we remove Quincy Olivares' contract? And we got Armel over there rotting away in the G League, and we got, Jameson that hasn't even played. And finally, we got to see Coloco, but again, he seemed like he's been out of the loop so much that he did not have a good game either. I will say credit to the Sixers. They outworked us. They came out here and they just destroyed us, led by Tyrese Maxey, 43 points. Another game where their superstar looked better than ours. 20 for Kelly Oubre, 14 for Eric Gordon of all people, and then 14 for Yabusele. So we let, 4 guys in double, 5 guys. Ricky Council, I don't even know who that is, and he had 16 points on it. So we let 5 guys get in double figures. Meanwhile, the Lakers only had 3 or 4 with Dalton Connect, right? But 3 in the starting lineup, and it's tough. It's tough to win games on a road like that. On top of that, the turnovers, not just LeBron, everybody, but especially LeBron. Turnovers were ridiculous. How many did we have tonight, you might ask? I'll tell you, we had 22 turnovers compared to 9 by Philly. Who's the team with the winning record again? Because I couldn't tell. Philly looked like the more composed team tonight. And yes, we are coming off of back-to-backs. That's not an excuse, guys. We got to come out here and play. Otherwise, like Tara said, leave them at home. There's no point to bring them over here if they're going to show up like that. Let's see. D-Rock says, do you think Rui is just mailing it in now? That has mentioned in every trade scenario. Now that he's been mentioned? I don't know, bro. He shouldn't mail it in because that's a surefire way to get yourself traded even more. But one thing is for sure is that this Laker team has been like this all year. Right when we think they've turned the corner and they're not looking back and we're here, we have arrived. I was so excited last post game, even though it was an uglier game that ultimately led to this ugly game. Now I'm disappointed because AD could be out for an extended period of time potentially, and we have no backup bigs. Jackson Hayes at the center position is an atrocity. I don't think he's that. We talk about Bronny not being NBA level talent yet. I don't think Jackson Hayes will ever be NBA level talent. Jackson Hayes gets pushed around. He gets bullied all the time, and he doesn't do much for us on the offensive end to warrant that. Like, you would think we either need a spark plug, energy guy, a rebounder, or something. Jackson Hayes was, I think let's see. Yeah, he had the worst plus minus, and he only played, he played 19 minutes. He had 4 points, and he had 3 rebounds. 3 rebounds in 19 minutes for a big man is disgusting, okay? 3 rebounds for a big man in 19 minutes. Get that out of here. Him and Rui both don't have the motor, and I wouldn't mind packaging both of them, to be honest. But if Rui is going to stay here, I don't mind him, but he needs to come off the bench. DFS has to start. We're 2-0 with him in the lineup, and I don't even know what the record is with Rui, but yeah, Rui as a starter just has not panned out. We've tried it for several seasons already, last year and this year. 6 for 9 seems good if you didn't watch the game. If you watched the game, you saw him get out rebounded. He only had 2 rebounds. You saw his horrible defense. This is the reason he was a -8 on the plus minus, right? It's the reason, man. Max Christie himself was a -8. He didn't have the best of games either. He was 1 for 6. He's been knocking down shots, but today that wasn't it. And like I said, I wasn't impressed with Austin's game either, even though he had 13 and 8. Still -4 on the game. And then LeBron had the biggest plus minus in the starting lineup, which is -11. 10 for 16. Again, most of those came in garbage time in 33 minutes. They were just padding their stats. A lot of Laker fans don't like that. We like aggressive LeBron when it counts, right? That's what we like. He said Nuggets will beat this team in the playoffs in 5. Yeah, which is why we need an actual big man to back up AD. Because like I've said all year long, this team, when AD gets hurt or in foul trouble or anything, we go to Jackson Hayes and we get exposed time and time again. And it'll continue to happen. It will continue to happen. He said Hayes got bullied by a 6'8", not even a center, Yabusele. But that guy has a motor. That's the difference, right? And he's got some meat in his bones, meaning he can move Jackson Hayes around like nothing, like a toothpick, man, in the wind. Jackson Hayes out here looking like a toothpick in the wind, yo. All you see is his hair just moving everywhere, just moving from left to right. Out here looking like a palm tree in the wind, bro. It's not a good look. We need an actual big man. And I like Coloco, but tonight he didn't play good. And he hadn't played in what, the last 7 to 10 games? I lost count. Hayes is awful. Diehard said Maxon Reeves gave up 43 is not good at all. Yes, I agree. However, Maxon Reeves can only do so much in the perimeter. At the end of the day, these guards were dribble drive penetrating and nobody to meet him at the rim, which again goes back to, you know what I'm saying, getting that backup big man. For sure. We have nothing. Once we lose AD, we got nobody back there. Nobody. The front office got to do something. I think this game really underlines what we're lacking as a unit, as a team. Right now, we fall to, what is it now? 26 and 19, 7 games over 500. We were just 8 games over 500. And 10 and 13 away. We have to find ways to beat these teams on the road. We lost to the Mavericks without Kyrie and Luka. Now we lose to the Sixers without Joel Embiid and PG. Who else are we going to lose to at this point without their stars? It's just not acceptable, right? We had to start the game. We had AD and LeBron. And, yeah, we know AD makes a huge impact, but he needs help because otherwise we're going to keep injuring him, right? Otherwise we're going to keep injuring him. But, hey, here we go. It was a horrible game all the way around. Like I said, the coaching staff, they started making a mistake. The first mistake was not starting DFS after we won back-to-back games. For some reason, they seem to have an attachment to Rui. I hope it's only with the purpose of moving him. Otherwise, I'd be disappointed if this is another situation where we're catering to a Torian Prince type player, okay? Secondly, we came out here and we played Bronny James in a game he had no business playing unless we were blowing out the team by 20 plus. All right. We played him. He's not ready. Hence the thumbnail. Bronny James isn't ready. Every time he plays, he looks tentative. He looks scared. He makes poor passes. He turns the ball over. He had a one-track mind attacking the rim, got blocked a couple of times. He's just not ready. And his father tried to force it to him a couple of times, and it's just not a good look for the Lakers franchise when that happens. It looks like I mentioned, like the podcast buddies had this deal in agreement, like, hey, I'll help you get the job, but just make sure Bronny gets some playing time at some point. That's what this looked like to me, right? First of all, I think Quincy Oliveri should have been the one that got the call up. He's not on a 2-way contract anymore, but I much rather him get an opportunity. He was balling in the G League, hasn't gotten half the opportunities Bronny has gotten. So, again, it doesn't look good. We don't want no favoritism over here, right? None of that. Shandel says they trying to feed Ego Rui. They need to move his ass. Well, whatever they need to do, just don't start him anymore because he plays no defense. Guys, he gets beaten by I think I saw a play where Eric Gordon beat him with a first step. Eric Gordon, guys. Eric Gordon's like 95 in dog years. This dude is old. He's never been he was an explosive player in his youth, but he's not that anymore. He should not be beating you with a first step. And then he seems like a cone. When they go down the lane, just beat him with little flip shots, teardrops. He's not blocking anything. He's not using his body to bully anybody. He's just not effective on a defensive end, right? Very disappointing, but hey, it is what it is. Now we got to flush this one down the toilet, rest, hope AD's not hurt, and move on to play the Wizards. Because the only way we make up for this loss is if we beat the Wizards, then the Knicks, then the Clippers, and finish this road trip out 5-1, which was my initial goal. Now it's looking a lot more like 4-2 or worse, 3-3. But I still want 5-1. That's what we need. We need 5-1 and to be a legitimate team in the West. It's not easy to get these losses. These losses set you back tremendously, guys. Like, we need to play better. We got to be better, period. We got to come out here and do the right thing. Hey, we got a mega chat. Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate that.
Thanks for the super chat. DTLF out.
My guy Keith, I appreciate it, man. That's big time, bro. Man, that's a blessing. He said, missed the game tonight. How bad was it? Let's start a new streak. Let's freaking go. I like your energy, sir. You definitely picked me up right there. You know what? It was pretty bad. Mainly because we played Bronny in the first quarter, bro. And we didn't start Dorian Finney-Smith. I think those were huge mistakes on the front office part, man. But I appreciate the power chat right there, bro. That's major right there, and I think I'm gonna hit him with another one of these. But I'll tell you, bro, you didn't miss anything if you missed the game. It was not fun to watch. We gave up 73 points in the first half, 49 in the second quarter. I think we really lost this game in the second quarter. We never came back. There was never any fight. There was never any energy, and nothing enough to to get us excited. It was the opposite of the last game and the one before that, especially when we beat Boston and Golden State. It was just not a good game. But hey, thanks so much for the super chat, bro. That means a lot to me. And let me go ahead and hit you with another one.
First things first, got a realist. That super chat got Dan acting silly.
Thank you so much, man. I had to hit you with the old school Iggy, my guy. But you know what? I think because of this game, the front office will finally have whatever proof or whatever they needed in order to go ahead and make the deal they needed to make. I think this game right here is the reason that a trade for sure gets done. Like, there's no way Rob will be able to look Anthony Davis in the eye and say, we have enough. Go make it work. AD could be like, listen, y'all don't make this trade. I'm over here getting hurt. Y'all don't make this trade. I'm going to want to be traded because apparently we have him until 2027 with a player option in 28. He could easily demand a trade this summer if the Lakers don't get that trade for that big man he's been asking for years. He wants to be back at the 4, and we see why. Because he's wearing out at the 5. It's very taxing for this man to be the lone anchor on the team. So let's go out and make that happen for him. And I think it's going to happen, Keith. That's the good news, my friend. That is the good news right there. But again, appreciate you, my guy. That means a lot. Even in a loss, you guys are showing support and love. Let's see. Lila Mendoza says, hi, Dan. The Lakers really need a good backup center. I hope Rob does something before the trade deadline. And then she says, you're right, Dan. Rui does not play defense and does not grab rebounds. That's a big problem, right, Lila? Because he's 6'8". He's athletic. He's just lacking heart and passion at this point. He has no passion bucket. We need 6'8" guys to crash the glass and use their big body for defensive purposes. That's how you help the team win in spite of not getting a minimum of 15 points. When you're getting paid $50 million for your contract, you have to find a way to be impactful. And Rui doesn't do that. If he's not scoring 15 to 20 plus points, he's a non-factor. And tonight, he was 6 for 9 from the field, right? Decent. But he still ended up with only 13 points and 2 rebounds and a turnover. That's just not going to cut it. And he was 1 for 3 from beyond the arc. It's not good enough. We needed others to step up. He had a night off yesterday due to the injuries. He should have been fresh. He should have been on attack mode at least. If he's not going to rebound, give me 25 points. Give us a chance to compete. And he didn't do that tonight. And again, I'm not disappointed because I expected from Rui at this point. I've seen it. This is why Washington traded him, because even though he was a lottery pick, he's never lived up to his full potential. We saw glimpses in the postseason when we got really excited, which is why he got paid. He got paid because of the postseason and those series he had, especially when we made our run to the Western Conference Finals. He was spectacular in some of those series, attacking the rim, rebounding. He was doing it all, defending even some centers. It was lovely to watch. But unfortunately, I don't know if he still has it, because more times than not, he takes a night off. And tonight, again, 2 rebounds, not going to cut it in 24 minutes. No. Let's see. Chino said, Dan, big fan, bro. Keep grinding. Quick question. Dan, any trade updates on the Jazz? Last I heard, the Lakers were trying to make a trade for Walker Kessler. But they haven't met the asking price. Apparently, the asking price is 2 first-round picks unprotected on top of the one they already have, and Dalton Connect. Will they come off of that asking price? I don't know. They should, if they know what's best for them. They should come off of that, because nobody's going to pay that for Walker Kessler. I'm sorry. Walker Kessler is a really good starting caliber big, but he's a role player at best, a really good one. He's not a star player. They're asking star player assets in return, which usually doesn't end up well, because we've seen during the past couple of seasons teams asking for first-round picks, multiples for players like Dorian Finney-Smith. They end up settling for second-round picks. So it's in everybody's best interest to trade Walker for at least 1 first-round pick. Get at least that, because they know they don't want to pay him. They know damn well they don't want to pay him. They already got John Collins under a hefty contract. They got multiple bigs over there, so they don't want to pay him. Trust. But yeah, let's see if the Lakers can pull up and snag him, and we'll go from there. Let's see. D Free says Rui isn't a good rebounder, and he's not fast foot, high IQ defender. What he is, though, is one of the best offensive players on this team that doesn't get enough volume and is a solid post defender. Yeah, that's what we need to send him to that bench. He can get all the volume he wants over there. Man, he can get more volume than Amazon packages, okay, coming to the conveyor belt. So, yeah, he can get all that volume either in the bench or on a different team because he's not going to get in the starting lineup. AD gets his shots. LeBron gets his shots, and AR has to get their shots. Those are our three most efficient, consistent scorers as far as putting up numbers. And so they need to get their shots before Rui. Then Rui gets relegated to like the fourth option or something else. And I guess he's not comfortable in that. So why not make him the first option off the bench as far as offense goes? Why not? DFS is just better. You don't need that many shots. And, he just, so yeah. We can look at the stats all day, but Rui just hasn't been consistent. We're going to need Rui to just, do what he's got to do and do it off the bench or do it on another team. That's just the the unfortunate truth, right, Tara? Yeah, that's the unfortunate truth. Let's see. D Free says the asking price is what it is because they don't actually need or want to trade him. They need to trade him, bro. They have the Mormon center they drafted out of Duke. They have John Collins, and they have the other kid. I always forget his name because he's on a trash franchise anyways, who puts up a double-double. I would think they want to keep him unless they want to trade him and build around the younger center. But they don't need 4 centers in the modern NBA. 3 centers is easily enough, right? So they have 4 bigs over there. They can part with one, I'm sure. And on top of that, they're trying to lose. Walker Kessler is not going to help them lose. He's going to help them get these wins that they don't need. And like I said, unless they're trading somebody else, John Collins has been rumored, then they wouldn't need to trade him. But again, it just doesn't fit their timeline. And also, they're going to come out of pocket and pay this guy just to have a losing team for the foreseeable future and have 3 centers that are overpaid. At that point, I don't see it. I don't see it, man. And the asking price is too high because it's the Lakers. That's the bottom line. I promise you, they would probably turn around. If somebody offers them a first-round pick for Kessler unprotected, they'll probably turn around and flip him. I wouldn't be shocked if they flip him for 3 second-round picks and a young prospect. Wouldn't be shocked, man. But at the end of the day, difference of opinion. Love you, bro. But, I'll be honest with you. I think Kessler should be attainable. And if the Lakers keep trying, they might get it. They might get it done before the trade deadline. If they don't, if they pivot and then they move on to like Jonas or somebody else, then so be it, right? Then so be it at that point. But truth be told, I just honestly don't think they should hold on to all those front court players. It makes no sense. They're not winning anything. They're at the bottom of the barrel. It's time to recycle some of your assets, and that way you can become the next OKC and have just a bunch of draft picks and hopefully some good pieces. I think that's the way I would do it. I don't know. But then again, I'm me, and then they're them. They are them. I'm not a fan of Rui on this team. Too inconsistent, and this team needs as many as two-way dogs as possible. Again, none of us had an issue with Rui when he was off the bench. So even though I feel you, Shando, and I wouldn't mind trading him, I'm just not going to turn on Rui the way we, have turned on other players that were really unbearable. For me, though, Rui is just a better suited off the bench, just like Taurean Prince was. We were complaining about TP up until they brought him off the bench, and then he looked solid for us. And he was playing some good minutes off the bench. I think that'll happen back with Rui. I think you put him back on the bench, and he'll play solid minutes. Unless we need Rui's contract to go get like a Vucevic or somebody like that, there's no point of just getting a contract just to get a contract, right? But I feel you. I mean, Rui is starting to wear out his welcome in the starting lineup for sure. I mean, I don't think there's anybody that wants him there anymore. Let's see. I'm not sure how you can be consistent when you have inconsistent opportunities. That just doesn't make much sense. Wait, let's see. What was the first message? She said, I think he has been comfortable in that spot. He's played exactly the way they've asked him to play, and he's played in their offense and not shown any signs of being upset. But who are we talking? Oh, we're talking about Kessler? Well, we'll see. We'll see, man. To me, they're moving Rui, Gabe, Jalen Hood-Schifino, Hayes, and Wood, bro. He said it's now or never. You need to go all in. You're not getting much without moving him. That's a fact. Well, we don't know if that's a fact because we don't know what's going to happen in the trade deadline. Like I said, Kessler's contract is only over $3 million. So you could get, if you get him, that's getting a lot in my book without moving Rui. But like I already mentioned, I'm not opposed to moving Rui if the right piece comes back and the right package comes back. But to move him just to move him, just because he doesn't do the things we want him to do in the starting lineup, I think that would be counterproductive. Like, I wouldn't move him for Lonzo's contract. I still think Rui's younger, he's healthier. I'd rather keep the younger, bigger, healthier body for the postseason. It'll matter more than the injury-prone player. Look at I just mentioned how the Ball brother is so injury-prone. Look at the other night. What happened with the other Ball brother, LaMelo, right? Walking backwards, he tweaked his ankle. It's like they got to get off of that macaroni and cheese diet they're on, man. They got to start eating their veggies and lifting weights and doing whatever it takes to get stronger and strengthen their body. Otherwise, they're going to have short careers. And you hate to see it because they're both really talented, especially LaMelo. But every year, LaMelo's hurt. Every year, Lonzo's been hurt so far in their careers, both of them, right? Whether it's minor or major injuries. And again, I'm not looking to trade. I know we all like Lonzo. I get it, but I'm not going to trade Rui just for Lonzo. I'm not going to do that. If it's a minor trade like that, no. But if it's a major trade, yes. Like I said, I have thrown Rui in tons of trade packages on the trade machine on here. La Mamba, what's up, bro? He said, yo, Dan, I missed the game. What happened? Just got home from work. Bronny played in the first quarter. Dorian Finney-Smith came off the bench instead of Rui, and the Lakers laid an egg because they either looked tired or just didn't want it, whatever the case may be. No excuses regardless. And to make matters worse, the cherry on top, Anthony Davis got injured. I think they said, what was it? Abdominal strain, which, like my good friend Jonathan, who's a doctor, said it could either be a week or 2 to 4 weeks, depending on the grade of it. So let's hope for the best. Pray for them to get healthy and some rest. And maybe then we can start climbing the West. I don't know. LA Mama says the Ball brothers got to get off of that Maruchana soups. Facts, bro. I'm saying you are what you eat, man. Honestly, when I eat like crap, I feel like crap. And I'm guilty of it, but I'm not a professional athlete, so I can afford to have my days off, right? It's just the truth. Anybody who's into athletics knows. Well, I remember watching the Ball in the Family, and I'm like, they're doing everything right. They're working out. They're running up and down Chino Hills and all of this. But then they showed an episode where Lonzo, bro, they had broccoli on their plate, and they were just scooting it to the side. They're eating the mac and cheese, and they're eating the pizza. Like, y'all eat like 5-year-olds. You're professional athletes. Get your protein and get your fish, get your chicken, get your rice. You know what I'm saying? Get your veggies, your broccoli, your lettuce. Get it all in. You know, you got to eat good as well. It's part of taking care of your body. And believe it or not, man, like the calcium isn't right. The bones ain't right. The muscles ain't right, you know, and you're going to end up just falling off the cliff, man. And it's unfortunate. You hate to see their careers just be so injury plagued. Even the middle brother, who also eats like shit, by the way, Jello Ball, also plagued his whole entire career, plagued by injuries. You guys don't think it has anything to do with your diet and your nutrition? Yeah, I got some news to break to y'all. It matters. Appreciate it, Kimiko. All right, comments, questions, concerns, guys. I'm about ready to stop talking about the Lakers, man. What a bad game. What a bad day it was. Let's see. My guy Nielsen says, can we burn these Lake Show jerseys? We are now 1-9 when we are in them. You know what? It might be time, man. It might be time to burn those or either that or turn them into cotton candy with those delicious looking flavors. Whatever the case, they got to go. All right. This is a horrible record. Let's bring back the Mamba jerseys. Bring back something tight. I like the color and how they look and everything. We just keep losing in them. So what can I say, man? Remember the amount of donuts LeVar be eating, though, and a gallon of milk? I'm not even here to criticize how they eat because LeVar's not an athlete, but his children are. And I'm telling you right now, bro, you are what you eat. And these guys are always hurt. All right. I've never seen an entire family, an entire generation of family, an entire bloodline potentially have their careers shortened by injuries. And they all seem to be around the feet and ankle areas, right? Jello Ball with the knee injuries or whatever it was with him when he played overseas. And, you know, he played and he didn't even make it to the NBA. He was getting these injuries, right? LaMelo, like I said, there was one time I think he broke his foot and he planted regularly. It was nothing. And he broke his foot. Like, damn, what are these bones made out of glass? And then don't even get me started with Lonzo. He's been the most injury prone. Since we drafted him until now, bro will be on the court for like 2 weeks to a month and then get like a year-ending injury. And you hate to see it because they're so talented. Thank you, Kimiko. I might have to do that for you, La Mamba. I might have to I might have to look her up on the blue book or what they used to call it, the phone book. Remember the old phone books with the big stack? Nah, man, I wish I had that access, bro, for sure. But nah, it's not genius, Rob. I think Rob truly is afraid to make his final move. I really do. I feel like Rob is afraid that he makes another like seismic move. That's why he's been making kind of smaller moves, second round picks here and there. Because ever since that Westbrook trade, I think he's afraid to make another big trade and then get exposed. And like, if it's bad, everybody's going to want his head on a platter. But the truth of the matter is, Rob needs to realize that if he makes no trades or something minimal that makes no impact in a positive manner and doesn't help AD with that front line, AD, LeBron James, and probably even Genie in the front office and the fans are all going to want his head on a platter. Everybody, myself included, because it's been too long. Since 2020, he promised we'd win multiple championships. He has failed. He has failed. All right. We like to say, yes, this duo hasn't lived up to the hype, but a lot of it is on Rob. Lamar loves his M&Ms. Lamar. Well, his career is over, Keith. But yeah, I feel you, brother. Yeah, I mean, we all love sweets and junk food. Who doesn't? But I'm just talking about them. They're in the prime of their careers. They got to really take care of their bodies. Let's see. Or was it Skittles? I think it was Skittles, Keith. I think it was, brother. I think it was Skittles. You so remember the candy that Lamar Odom would eat? Also, what do you think of Lamar Odom when he was here, the candy man? I love Lamar. Still got his jersey, man, number 7. Lucky number 7. I loved him because he was unselfish, came off the bench. It was an absolute X factor throughout the playoffs year after year. And he was clutch. He would hit some big shots when we needed him. And, I used to call him Extendo Man or Doll Sim. Because this dude has just a crazy wingspan and he could play the point. He could play the power forward. From point to power forward, he could cover it. You want to talk about versatility? Probably my favorite 6 man of all time for the Lakers, man. Probably my favorite 6 man of all time. Love Lamar. Walter, we're all tired. This was a bad loss, brother. This right here is the reason why we can't get too excited when we go on win streaks because honestly, until they make those deals that solidify and fortify that front court and maybe even a backup guard or ball handler or something, it's really hard to say, hey, man, we've turned the corner because look, we had won 7 out of 8 and then we lose and we get blown out by Philly with only Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey and a bunch of G Leaguers just beat us. So credit to them, but discredit to the Lakers because we do ourselves a disservice of dropping major ball games like these. And again, we had over 20 turnovers. That is a surefire recipe for disaster, right? To win these road games. 20, what was it? Let me see the exact number. 22 turnovers compared to 9 of theirs. They doubled us up in turnovers, and we conceded 27 points off of those turnovers. Now do the math, right? I'm no math whiz, but we gave up more points off of turnovers than how many points we lost by it, which means if we take care of the ball tonight, we potentially have a shot. We gave ourselves no shot, guys, none. And LeBron was responsible for eight of those. So I don't care about his stats tonight. He didn't show up. I don't care if he had 31, 8, and 9. He also had 8 turnovers. It is what it is. I like Odom, bro. He loves the Lakers after the Zippers. Lamar Odom was great. He was great. It was a lot of fun to watch the Lamar Odom, Pau Gasol, Kobe Bryant, Andrew Bynum era. I still remember all the role players. Love them all. What was the Laker you were critical of during 08, 010? Or was it all rainbows and sunshines after every game? No. I wish I had a YouTube channel back then. I was a kid back then, man. I was very critical of all of them, including Kobe when he had bad games. I was critical of everybody. Here in Lakers land, real Laker fans always hold everybody accountable. It's never always sunshine and rainbows. However, the one thing I could appreciate about that team is one thing you would know, they would always play hard. They rarely had games like these, even if it was coming off of a back-to-back. But yeah, I was critical with Gasol because sometimes he would look soft in the front court. He would get bullied around by some players. I was critical with a lot of players, man, going down. Sometimes even Lamar would frustrate me because his lack of aggression, how unselfish he was at times. He was too unselfish. Like I already mentioned, Kobe. Bynum, But Bynum became much more of a beast later on in his career. But early on, he had some tendencies to do some things like jack up threes. Um, just different players, different players. I love them all, but yeah, we're always critical of certain players at certain times. Not everything's sunshine and rainbows ever. If you're a fan of any team, you know that. Nothing is sunshine and rainbows always, but it was more consistency from those two teams, the 08, 09 and 09, 010. There was a lot of consistency from those teams. They would show up, and they would rarely lost to lesser teams. When they lost, it was usually to teams that were as good as them or better on paper, but rarely. It happened once in a while, but yeah, they rarely lost to the lesser teams, and it's unfortunate. Appreciate you, Kimiko. She promoting the shit out of that channel. Appreciate it. That's awesome. Hey, you guys definitely should tap in. I'm gonna be doing more quick takes on the off days. Dan, you should do a throwback video for X. Do a game reaction in the era you would like to watch. You to this game. Interested in video topic? Wait. Maybe I read that wrong. He said you should do a throwback video for X. Do a game reaction of that era. Okay, I got you. I might do that on playback, but I'll probably do that during the summer when we don't have too much content for the Lakers or for the NBA. I still owe you guys some NBA content and some streams on off days over there on playback. So I'm gonna bring you guys a lot of content there. I will have good take, bad take tomorrow. Make sure you guys follow on playback, and I will have other stuff going on as well as I already mentioned the retro game highlight reactions. I will have that. There's a lot of stuff coming, so just stay tuned. But I do appreciate the suggestion, Shan. Thank you, my friend. Hey Dan, playing around with the Hornets is part of the reason we lost. I pray AD is okay. You're right. We have bad tendencies, and those tendencies tend to leak over to the next game, which was the very next day. So you're right. Unfortunate. Hopefully AD is okay. Again, front office, the clock is ticking. Make it happen. Let's get it done. Really quick, this video was sponsored by Prize Picks. Make sure you guys tap in promo code DTLF for $50 after your first deposit and play. And that's going to wrap it up for me, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much for accompanying me here today for pregame and postgame. And for those of you that went over to playback and, enjoyed the commentary between me and my guest today, my guest today, I'm sorry, Nakomi. I almost said Kimiko. I read her message here. But yeah, make sure you guys tap in, guys, if you already haven't. We got a game coming up on Thursday. I got some content coming up for you guys tomorrow over on Playback. Stay tuned for that. But for tonight, that's it for me. Again, thank you guys so much. Don't forget to hit the like button on your way out. Truly helps the channel keep growing. Shout out to everybody who super chatted, hit the like, and subscribed, and is already a member. Appreciate all of you guys. I will see you guys on the next one, all right? Enjoy your night. Peace.